कुंज बिहारी राधे गोपी जन वल्लभा गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन यशोधनन्दन व्रज जन यशोधनन्दन व्रज जन यमुना जय राधा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे राम हरे राम हरे श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। प्रभुपाद की। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं श्रीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लो भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमार गोविन्दाय नमो। So, reading from Canto 10, chapter 31, verse number 9. So, we'll recite this shloka. It's very wonderful shloka from the 10th canto, 31st chapter. It's entitled The Songs, the Gopi Song of Separation, Gopi Gitam. And this verse especially was liked by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will recite this verse. तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। So the new semester preaching season is starting. So third we'll take this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam of Gopi Gitam. So this is the meaning is like this. Can somebody read the meaning?
Translation. The nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations, transmitted by learned sages, eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly, those who spread the message of Godhead are most beneficent.
So the gopis are singing this song in separation from Krishna. As you know, that famous the night when Krishna called everybody, all the gopis from everywhere they came, and then Krishna started the beautiful rasa dance, and in between, suddenly Krishna disappeared. He disappeared, and gopis were in anxiety, looking for Krishna here and there, and everywhere, and they start singing this beautiful song, calling out to Krishna. जयति वेदिकं जन्मना व्रज श्रयत इन्दिरा शश्वदत्र हि दयितदृश्यतां दिक्षु तावकास्त्वयि धृता सवा त्वां विचिन्वते. So, Lord, we are searching for you. Where are you? And this holy land of Vrindavan has become famous because you have appeared here. Your lotus footprints have touched here. And because your lotus footprint has touched here, Indira, Lakshmi Devi herself stays here. And this place has become opulent because of your presence. Where are you, Krishna? So they're searching, searching. And they're remembering Krishna through different pastimes and activities. And they remember how Krishna protected them again and again and again, repeatedly. विषजलाप्ययाद्व्यालराक्षसा वर्षमारुताद्वैद्युतानला वृषमयात्मजाद्विश्वतो भया वृषभते वयं रक्षितामुः. There was a poisonous snake in Vrindavan who was Kaliya, and he was disturbing everyone in Vrindavan. The Gopas and Gopis, the cows, they went to take water and they fell unconscious. You protected us at that time from that poison by the nectar of your glands. Vishajalapya. Vyala Rakshasa and great demons like Aghasura came. You protected us from them. Many Rakshasas came like Bakasura, Potana, Trinavrta. You protected us from them. Right. Varsha Maruta, Varsha and Maruta. Indra showered rain and there was tremendous wind. So you protected us from that. Then Vaidyutanala, there is fire in the forest. You protected us. Vrishamayat Najar, you also protected us from Arishtasura, uh, Vrishabha, Rakshasa, and so many other demons and calamities. Vrishabhate Vayam Rakshitamuhum. Oh Lord, you protected, you are the hero, and you protected all of us during all these dangers repeatedly. So the gopis are able to feel connection to Krishna by remembering such activities, right? So when Krishna is not present physically, then we can remember Krishna and feel connection to Krishna. Right? So gopis are repeatedly remembering many pastimes of Krishna. And later it will come. Chalasi yadvrajam charayan pashu नलिन सुंदरम नाथ ते पदम शिलतृणांकुरैः सीदतीति न ललिततामन कांत गच्छति. So gopis are praying, oh Lord, when you go into the forest for herding the cows, you walk bare feet and you are going with your gopa friends. But Vrindavan's forest has got many pebbles, rocks, and sharp grasses called ankura. Ankura means like sharp grasses. शिलत्रिणा अंकुरैः सीदतीति नः कलिलतां मनः कान्तिवच्चति. And when we think of those troubles piercing your feet, hurting your feet, our heart is feeling great pain, oh Krishna. Like that they are telling. So they are constantly remembering the activities of Krishna. So by remembering such activities of Krishna, one can feel presence of Krishna. So this is called Leela Smaran. Right? What we do in the morning, japa is Nama Smaran. But when you sing such songs, different leelas of the Lord are remembered. That's called Leela Smaran. Right? There are many other bhajans also which are very good for Leela Smaran. Like there's Govinda Damodara Stotra. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Vikretu Kama Kila Gopakanya Dadhyadikam Mohavashadavochan. Vikretu Kama Kila Gopakanya Dadhyadikam Mohavashadavochan. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti says. She says that no, she came to Mathura to sell curd and butter and ghee, the dhyadikam. So, but instead of calling out dahi, doodh, we call out, no? People come and buy. So instead of calling out dahi and doodh, she's calling out Govinda, Damodara. So much absorbed she is in Krishna's Leela. Govinda Damo Ramadavi. Vikretu Kama Kilagopakanya Dadhyadikam Mohavashad. Moham. Because of, although she has come to sell all these items, but her mind is always in Krishna. So she's calling out Govinda Damodara. Right? Sometimes when devotees get hurt, right, they call Krishna, Rama. Right? Or when sneezing comes, no? When they sneeze, generally people say, excuse me, but devotees say, Hare Krishna, or Govinda. Something like that. So, in any situation, one should remember Krishna. So, like these gopis are thinking about Krishna and remembering different activities of Krishna. And finally, in the ninth verse, not the final verse, but in the middle verse, they are glorifying this because the gopis are asking for nectar of Krishna's katha. So one verse before this, one verse prior to this, Gopi said, "Oh Lord, please give us your nectar, the nectar of your lips." Madhuraya gira valguvakyaya budhamanognyaya pushkarekshana vidikaririma viramuhyati adhara sidhuna pyaya yasvanaha. Can you read translation?
Translation. O lotus-eyed one, your sweet voice and charming words, which attract the minds of the intelligent, are bewildering us more and more. My dear hero, please revive your maidservant with the nectar of your lips.
Yeah. So your voice, sweet voice, Krishna's voice is very sweet, his charming words, which attract the mind of the intelligent also. So are bewildering us more and more. So Krishna is not present, but by thinking of the words which he had spoken, his activities, so they are becoming more and more bewildered. Or hero, please revive your maid servant. Now we are like suffering. So please revive your maid servants by the nectar of your lips, means by your words. Uh, please. So Krishna's words can revive the conditioned souls. Of course, it can revive the gopis and relieve them from the pangs of separation. And it can relieve us also from our pangs of separation because we are actually separated from Krishna. There are two kinds of people who are separated from Krishna. One is pure devotees who are Feeling separation from Krishna in the absence of Krishna. And we are actually feeling, we are actually separated from Krishna. So pure devotees crying for Krishna, that is ecstasy. And our crying is actual pain, actual misery. Like the Goswami, Shad Goswami, Vrindavan, they are also crying for Krishna. हे राधे व्रज देविके च ललिते हे नंदशूनो कुतः हे श्रीमती राधा रानी वेर आर यू हे कृष्ण वेर आर यू हे ललिते हे विशाखे वेर आर यू आई एम लॉन्गिंग फॉर ऑल ऑफ योर एसोसिएशन एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज वेर आर यू श्री गोवर्धन कल्प पाद पतले आर यू एट द hills of Govardhan
అలాగే పెట్టింది కరెక్టే బట్
Govardhana Kalpa Kalpataru Kalpapadapatale Kalindi Vanye Kutaha. Are you on the bank of Kalindi or in the forests or one of the 12 forests of Vrindavan? Vanye Kutaha. Goshantam iti sarvato Vrajapure Kheder Mahavihvalo. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they used to travel across Vrindavan calling out like this in great separation. So the Goswamis are also always searching for Krishna, and that search for Krishna itself is attainment of Krishna. भगवान की खोज जो है, that itself is samadhi. So Krishna may show up to us, or Krishna may not show up, but that call itself, that crying itself, is experience of Krishna for them. So that is Vipralamba Bhava. So the Goswamis, the Acharyas in our Sampradaya, they taught us Vipralamba Bhava. So one Bhava is Vipralamba, another is Sambhoga. Sambhoga means being with Krishna and serving him. Vipralamba Bhava means experiencing separation from Krishna and serving Krishna. That's called Vipralamba Bhava. So Vipralamba Bhava is more intense than Sambhoga Bhava. The gopis in this Ras Leela, when they're experiencing Vipralamba Bhava, not Sambhoga. And Gopikitam is very famous because Gopikitam expresses that Vipralamba Bhava. And the Goswamis, because we are following in the footsteps of the gopis of Vrindavan, the Goswamis have given us the mode of Vipralamba, the mode of separation, serving Krishna in the mode of. So I was telling that conditioned souls are actually separated from Krishna, and liberated souls, the gopis, are experiencing great ecstasy in absence of Krishna. So there are two kinds of separation. And they give rise to two different kinds of emotions. One emotion is pain, another emotion is ecstasy. So the 9th verse begins with Tavakatamritam Tapta Jivanam. So Tapta Jivanam. Tapta means suffering, Tapa, Tapatraya, suffering. Tapta Jivanam. And जिसका जीवन बहुत suffering में है. So somebody is very, very, very suffering. If you give him some nectar, he becomes happy. Okay. Similarly, in this world, people are all suffering. And what is that suffering? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, suffering. Adhyatmik, Adhibhotik, Adhidevi, Klesha, it is suffering. So it's Tapta Jivan. So how to mitigate this suffering? Krishna says, Gopi say, Tava Katha Amritam. Tava Katha is Amritam for those who are suffering in this world. So that's why we should hear Krishna Katha. It's like Amritam. But you may say some people are happy in this world. They are rich. They are having a lot of money. They are enjoying. So what about them? Are they not suffering? How are they suffering? Recently, we were reading from 11th canto of Bhagavatam, where it is said how the jiva actually is suffering. That's why you should go to a spiritual master. And then Yeah, here it is. Are you able to see? Prabhupada is one of the sannyasis, Nimis. He's adherent to Nimi Maharaj. Shri Prabhuddhavacha karmani arambhamananam dukkha hatye sukhaye cha pashet pakaviparyasam vidune charinam nrunam. Can someone on Zoom read? Anybody on Zoom would like to unmute and read?
Yes, Prabhu. Translation. Srila Prabhupada said,
Prabhuddha said.
Srila Prabhupada said, accepting the roles of male and female in human society, the conditioned souls unite in sexual relationships. Thus, they constantly make material endeavors to eliminate their unhappiness and unlimitedly increase their pleasure. But one should see that they inevitably achieve exactly the opposite result. In other words, their happiness inevitably vanishes, and as they grow older, their material discomfort increases.
See, one is enduring for happiness, but what he gets? Opposite result he gets. Karmani arambhamananam. For the sake of happiness, he does a lot of work, karmani. But dukkha hatye sukhaya cha, to destroy misery and get happiness, but pashyat paka viparyasam. Exactly opposite result he gets. Mithuni charinam, especially those who are attached to sex life, they think that they will enjoy, but misery only comes. And it is natural. Ultimately, it leads to misery only. Right? So that's why they put the heart and they put an arrow. It's ultimately dukha aane wala hai. Isn't it? So sex life has not made anybody happy, but it has promised happiness. It promises happiness, but nobody gets happiness. That's why it is cheater. Right? There's one acharya who says, Kamadinam katina katida palita durnideshaha tesham jatamayi na karuna na tripa no pashanti utsrijetan atho yadupate sampratam labda buddhe tvam ayata sharanam abhayam mam niyamshatmadase. So he says, right now, I have served my lusty desires for lifetimes. Kama, lobha. Why people work to fulfill their desires only ना? कुछ काम वासना है, मुझे कार चाहिए, बंगला चाहिए, पैसा चाहिए, इसलिए पैसा चाहिए, इसलिए काम करते. So kama nidam katina katita palita. How many lifetimes I have maintained these desires, and I expected to get some happiness by fulfilling these desires. Kama, krodha, lobha. But by serving them, I did not find happiness. Palita, Durnidesha, their misdirections I followed. Durnidesha. they, they told no, work hard, you'll that when you're small, they said you get first rank, you'll be happy. Then you crack CET, competitive exams, you'll be happy. Engineering complete कर you'll be happy. After that job, promotion, उसके बाद शादी, उसके बाद there's only promise of happiness. There's only false hope of happiness, but nobody has seen happiness. Katina katida palita durnidesha tesham jatamai na karuna na tripa na upashanti. But by serving them, they have not shown compassion on me, nor they have satisfied me, no upashanti, nor they have made me peaceful. They are just agitating me more and more. एक डिजायर फुलफिल करो, दूसरा डिजायर आ जाता है, उससे बड़ा डिजायर आ जाता है. And I keep working like an ass to fulfill all these desires. No karuna, no kripa, no prashanti. That's when now, utsrijetans, I am giving up all these selfish material desires. Atha yadupade ho Krishna, Lord of Yadu. Sampratam labda buddhi, मुझे बुद्धि आ गया अभी. Sampratam labda buddhi. Tvam ayata, I am coming to you. Sharanam, I am come to surrender to you. Abhay mam niyam shatmadasya. Please consider me as your servant and give me fearlessness. So this is how Prabhupada quotes this verse many times. So, Kamadinam Katina Katida Palita. So, Prabhupada quotes in his lectures that. So, one should understand Pashyet Paka Viparyasa. One doesn't have to experience. See the results. See the people getting results. Person works hard for money, but his money gives him suffering. That is the next verse. Read here. Nitya Nityartidena Vittena Durlabhena Mrityuna Grahapatyapta Pashubihi Ka Priti Saditaischalaihi. The miseries of money. Let's read. Okay, somebody on Zoom can read. Yeah.
Sure. It is a perpetual source of distress. It is most difficult to acquire, and it is a virtual death for the soul. What satisfaction does one actually gain from this wealth? Similarly, how can one gain ultimate or permanent happiness from one's so-called home, children, relatives, or domestic animals, which are all maintained by one's hard-earned money?
Nitya Arti Dena. Arti means actually pain. Nitya Arti Dena Vittena. Money gives constant suffering, he says. This is Bhagavatam's verse. We can't contradict. We can't challenge this. Now we have to see and observe, okay, how money gives people suffering. When people are attached to money, that money gives them nitya suffering. Nitya arti dena vittena. Right? You see, rich man, they are always in anxiety. कौन आके लूट लेगा? टैक्स वाले आएंगे, रेड करेंगे, पैसा चला जाएगा. They're constant in anxiety. You see people who are earning more money, they're constant in anxiety how to save money. And other people are constantly vigilant how to loot money. Is what is happening. So the constant distress is there. It may not be seen, but it's there in the heart always. That anxiety is there. Right? And it is virtual death for the soul. So what satisfaction doesn't actually gain from is wealth. So having wealth is not wrong, but being attached to that is wrong. Wealth will come. जितना आना है ना आएगा वो. We can't stop it. और जितना जाना है वो भी जाएगा. We can't stop it. जैसे आएगा वैसे ही जाएगा. बट जब है वेल्थ हाथ में उसको भगवान की सेवा में लगा दो बस. That is the purpose of wealth. But if one gets attached to wealth and one dreams of enjoying through wealth, then this is applicable. This verse is applicable. Nitya arti dena vittena. Similarly, how can one gain ultimate or permanent happiness from one's home, so-called home? So-called home, because our home is that home. Illirodu sullu mane, summane. Real home is spiritual world. Here is false home. Allide namma mane, illirodu summane. That's the song in Purandradasa sings, right? That my real home is that spiritual world, but here is false home, made of windows and doors. This false home. Sullu mane idu, he says. But the real home is spiritual world. So one's home, one's children, relatives, domestic animals. Children also give mainly pain only. Little bit happiness they'll give, but a lot of pain they give to the parents. When they are young, they give a lot of happiness, but when they grow old, they give a lot of pain to parents. And parents cry, cry. You can't see that cry, but they'll cry because similarly, if you become parent, you also experience. चलो मैंने इसको पाल पोस के बड़ा किया, मेरा बात सुनता नहीं है, इंडिपेंडेंट बन गया, तू मेरे लिए मर गया, चले जाओ. So, and relatives are there around us because there is some give and take. No? Shankaracharya exposes relatives. क्षीणे यावद्वित्तोपार्जनसक्तः तावन् निज परिवारो रक्तः. यावन् वित्तोपार्जन शक्तः, as long as you have power to earn wealth, all relatives will surround you. कैसे हो, सब ठीक है ना, बढ़िया है, जॉब ठीक चल रहा है. क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवार. Shankaracharya says, you know, Kshine Vitte, as soon as job is gone or as soon as money is gone, Kaha Parivaraha. Where is family? He says. So suffering, right? So relatives are just for namesake. But when time of need comes, hardly anybody is there. Only those people who are there is devotees. And they can chant for us, they can give some tulsi, they can give some water. They are well wishers, they can deliver us. So it's pain. So nobody experience permanent happiness. Some so-called comfort will be there with relatives and family, but real happiness not there, isn't it? So seeing all this, one should evam lokam param vidyan nashwaram karma nirmitam satulya atishaya dhvamsam yatha mandalavartina. He says, even in heaven, mandalavartina, even in heaven, people are suffering. Can somebody read this translation?
One cannot find permanent happiness even on the heavenly planet, which one can attain in next life by ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices. Even in material heaven, the living entity is disturbed by rivalry with his equals and envy of those superior to him. And since one's residence in heaven is finished with the exhaustion of pious fruitive activities, the denizens of heaven are afflicted by fear, anticipating the destruction of their heavenly life. Thus, they resemble kings who, though enviously admired by ordinary citizens, are constantly harassed by envy kings and who therefore never attain actual happiness.
Yeah, even kings and even heavenly kings, they also suffer, right? So they have to come down once their uh, time is over, because it's all karma nirmitam. Yes. Evam lokam param, right? In this world and in the next afterlife, nashwaram, everything is nashwara, temporary, impermanent. Karma nirmitam. It's all because somebody has done good karma, he goes to Swarga, enjoys. But karma is over, then come back. Right? You go to another country, visa expires, come back. That's how it happens. So, Atishaya Dhvamsam. So, even everything is destroyed eventually. Yatha Mandalavartinam, like big kings swallow small kings. Similarly. So, eventually the time will swallow everything. So, we should be understand all these things, and therefore we should hear Krishna Katha. Right? So these three verses talk about why one should hear Krishna Katha. Next verse talks about Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shrem Uttamam Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashamashram. Therefore, Tasmad, because there is no happiness in this material world. Money also gives pain and suffering. Even if you go to heaven, even if you become a king, there is suffering in this world. So how to mitigate this suffering? Tasma, therefore, Gurum Prapadyate, go to a spiritual master. And Jignasu Shreyam Uttamam, and inquire about Uttama Shreya. What is that? Krishna consciousness. Don't inquire about how to get money. Don't inquire about how to make a business. Don't inquire about how to go to Swarga. Inquire about how to attain perfection, how to attain liberation from this world and go to spiritual world. Shreya Uttamam. Jignasuhu Shreya Uttamam. One should inquire Uttama Shreya from Guru. And Guru should be Shabde Pare. He should have heard all the Vedas and he should know the essence of the Vedas. Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashamashram, and he should be situated in Brahman. He should have taken shelter of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So Brahman refers to Krishna. So in this way, one should surrender to Guru, he says. So Tapta Jivanam, people are suffering in this world. So for them, Krishna Katha is like Amritam, like putting balm. Right? Somebody has got a burn in the hand, then you put a balm, thanda laga raha hai. Simply people are suffering in this world because of their desires and some pains. So Krishna Katha is like malam. But कभी कभी मलम अच्छा नहीं लगता है, but लगाते जाओ, when it gets disease gets cured, अच्छा लगता है. right? Especially oral medicines, better. Right? Recently, doctor gave me one tablet. He said, take this with honey. I said, why with honey? Then when I actually tasted that, it was so bitter. I have to mix with honey, then only it can take. Right? So Krishna Katha is like Amrutam. When we take that, what happens? Tapta Jivanam. The sufferings are finished. And who gives this Krishna Katha? And the gopis previous loka requested for the nectar of the lips of Krishna. Who is spreading the nectar of Krishna? Kavibhiriditam. The great souls, they are preaching Krishna consciousness. Like Prahlad Maharaj, like Dhruv Maharaj. They are spreading the glories of the Lord. Acharya Sri Srila Prabhupada, the great sannyasis, they are all spreading the glories of the Lord. Right? So Kavibhi Iditam. Kavi here refers to devotees. Kavi generally means poet, but devotees are also poets. They write poetry about Krishna. Ordinary poets write about ordinary songs, but the great souls like Prahlad Maharaj, he wrote nice songs glorifying Narsimhadev, isn't it? Dhruv Maharaj glorified mm, uh, Lord Krishna Garbha and glorified him, Lord Vishnu. So, Kaivari Iditam. And what is the effect of hearing this? One effect is Tapta Jivanam, is sufferings are mitigated. Another is Kalmashapaham. There are so many kalmashas in the heart. By hearing Krishna Katha, the kalmasha, the dirt in the heart is mitigated. So, Shravana Mangalam. Shravana Mangalam means auspicious. By hearing Krishna Katha, it brings auspiciousness in our life. Srimadattatam, it bestows Srimad. Sri means wealth. It bestows, hearing Krishna Katha bestows the wealth of Prema. Prema Pumartho Mahan. Right? Prema is the ultimate wealth. Prema Pumartho Mahan, the ultimate Purushartha. Purushartha Shiromani is Prema, Krishna Prema. So Srimadattatam, Bhuvi Grinantiye Bhurida janah. Right? On this earth, Bhuvi Grinantiye. So those who chant these glories, those who spread these glories, they are Bhurida, magnanimous souls. Bhurida janah. So the gopis are glorifying the speakers of Krishna Katha in this verse. Because by speaking Krishna Katha, by spreading the glories of Krishna across the country, across the globe, they're actually doing the greatest welfare activity. Right? So when devotees, you're going to the hostels, you're going to PGs, you're going to the college, and you're inviting people to come for these sessions and telling them about God. People don't even have faith in God. पहले ABCD start करना पड़ता है. God exists. That's the beginning of Kalmashapaham, beginning of the mitigation of suffering. God exists? Oh, I didn't know. Okay, then you say you're not this body or soul. Oh, I think I thought I am this body, but you're telling I'm not this soul. It's a revelation for me, isn't it? So people get wonderful knowledge by attending such sessions, and slowly they'll get more interest. They'll become more serious, and they'll chase for this prema. Now they're chasing for. They have come with many dreams. People come to the college with dreams. I'll get a dream job. So dream of getting into the college is what? Ultimately job. अच्छा job मिलेगा, dream job. Job तो मिल ही जाएगा, but that should not be the main dream. Right? And nobody is jobless in this world. There people have some job or the other, but we have to put little bit endeavor. So then we'll get good job. One should be pakka in one's studies. One should not neglect one's studies. One should have decent CGPA. One should have decent speaking skills, decent all those things, material skills which one requires to be presentable, to have a job. But one should keep the goal of Krishna consciousness as the main thing. Isn't it? One should ultimately get placed at the lotus feet of Krishna. Oh, every day we pray for that. Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram. पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पाद पंकज स्थिता धूली सदृशम स्थित धूली सदृशम just like a dust at a lotus feet of Krishna. Place me there. Sadarsham vichintaya. So that's my desire. So while doing the studies, while doing job, one should also desire to get placed in the lotus feet of Krishna through service. So that's the main aspiration. So, but people do not aspire for this. Right? How many people of the 10th or 1,000 people who got admission in the college? Or more. How many of them aspire for this? So, preaching means what? To give the people the desire to serve Krishna. Yes, you don't have to give up material things, but add service to Krishna. Whatever you are doing, do it as an offering to Krishna. That's what is Krishna consciousness. We don't have to change the desires. Meaning to say we don't have to give the desires, but you have to direct the desires to Krishna. That's what we have to do. Right? Sometimes people think that no, ये लोग आगे हमारा सब छुड़ा देंगे, खाना पीना सब छुड़ा देंगे, आके बोलेंगे मांस खाना बंद कर दो, चाय पीना बंद कर दो, ये बंद कर दो, वो बंद कर दो, मूवी देखना बंद कर दो, थिएटर जाना बंद कर दो. So people fear that when you become a devotee, so many things you have to stop. But we should not give that impression to people. We should say, okay, don't eat dirty things, eat pure things. अरे भगवान इतना इतना अच्छा चीज बनाया खाने के लिए, वो क्या पी रहे, क्या खा रहे तुम? सड़ रहा फ्लैश खा रहे, सड़ा हुआ फ्लैश खा रहे हो, और कोको कोला बॉटल पी रहे हो तो जहर है, जहर पी रहे हो. अच्छा जूस पियो, अच्छा दूध पियो, जहर क्यों पी रहे हो? And okay, you are hearing Hollywood, Bollywood songs which are dirty and mind polluting. Hear Krishna Kirtan. You can come here, you can participate. And if you want to dance, when people go and to pub, pay 1,000, 2,000 rupees and dance. Yeah. And here free dance hota hai. Aa jao. Isn't it? So there is a healthy spiritual alternative. You don't have to give up any desires, but you have to devotee the desires in Krishna service. Yes. And you have to study nicely. Initially, people only study to get marks, but when you understand, okay, it's all knowledge given by Krishna. No knowledge is out of the domain of Vedas. Of course, Krishna sometimes reveals and sometimes withdraws. Do you think this AI is used? Krishna doesn't know AI. Krishna is master of AI. Right? Computer science, mechanical, Krishna पता है, atomic energy पता नहीं कृष्ण को, सब उनसे सब कुछ है. अणु और अणियाम, Lord is only Anu. He is within the atom also. Atomic energy भगवान ही देता है. Right? So all this knowledge is meant for Kali Yuga. तो अभी कली युग में भगवान किसी को इंस्पायर करते हैं, ठीक है, ये ले लो बेटा, ये और भी आप बड़े बड़े आएंगे, टेक्नोलॉजी आएंगे, भगवान ही देते हैं ना. भगवान without Lord sanction nothing happens in this world, but people get fascinated. Oh, AI, they get fascinated. So Krishna reveals at a certain time when it is not needed, he withdraws. At some knowledge, like for example, how to make gold from bell metal. लोगों को पता था, अभी पता है कलयुग में लोग मिसयूज करेंगे, तो भगवान ने उसको ले लिया. He has withdrawn that knowledge. So whatever technology is required, he reveals. Whatever is not required, he withdraws. So one should understand that all that I'm studying is like actually glorifying Krishna. If you can connect it to Krishna, the studies also becomes Krishna conscious. And if you can get good scores, and then you say, I'm a 9-pointer or 10-pointer, he said, oh, and you chant Hare Krishna also? Oh, yes, I chant Hare Krishna every day. Oh, I will also chant. You can use it in Krishna service, you can preach, right? So if you have good scores, then it'll help in preaching. One should do one's best. Not that everybody will have 10-pointer, 7-pointer, 8-pointer, but if you set a good example of a devotee, be honest, be kind, and people will get attracted. So there are two ways to attract. One is through material designations, material achievements, and that is through personality. Radhana Swami Maharaj said, once he was giving a class, he said, I'm a college dropout. I didn't even finish my degree. But here, all these IITs, IIMs, they come and ask Maharaj, please tell us what is the solution to this, what to do now. And I'm amazed by how Krishna is using me, a small, insignificant soul in service. So it doesn't require degrees to attract people spiritually. Ultimately, it is spiritual person. Prabhupada also didn't have any degree. He rejected his degree. He didn't even accept his degree from college. So to practice in pre-spirituality, degree and all these things are not, doesn't matter. Ultimately, what matters is spiritual substance. Even if you have spiritual substance, it doesn't matter. You can preach to anybody. But what to do? अपना substance बहुत कम है तो थोड़ा degree पहले when so as Radheshyam Prabhu he went to Maharaj and said Maharaj I am full time joining, I'm shaving up, I'm wearing saffron also, my degree I'm trying to put it in dustbin. IIT Bombay gold medal degree dustbin में डालता हूँ. Maharaj said no, no, keep it. Oh, why Maharaj? No, no use no. I'm sure I'm not going to work again. I'm not going to take any job. Keep it. So our Goswamis have taught us Yukta Vairagya principle. Yukta Vairagya means give up degree. Yukta Vairagya means degree को भी सेवा में डालो. Whenever you give any talk, you just put IIT Bombay, MTech. You make posters and all, then put IIT Bombay. That can be used. Any five, whatever studies you did is no use now, but that degree can be used in attracting people to Krishna. That's called Yukta Vairagya. So you have tried to study nicely, have decent scores, and then so even encourage the boys also to study nicely, have decent scores. But what we are telling them is don't get distracted by so many things. Right? Social media is there. In college also there are so many distracting activities, events which are not necessary. There are thousands of clubs. Okay, be part of one club, maybe part of this smile club, evolve club, and do wonderful activities through that. You get credit also. But people go to so many other clubs. It's fascinating. They may have desire to go, but if they can find that alternative within Krishna conscious circle, that is best. So, you can recruit them into the club. You can recruit them into this or device program in the hostel. So I heard that Sharon Pro already went, and how many were registered?
25.
25 people already enrolled for device. 26. Okay. And I heard that everybody is going. Others will start going this weekend. Yeah. Right. I desire to see that each one of you should preach to some group of boys. Each one of you should have at least 5 to 10 people whom you are preaching to. It's very thrilling. Most thrilling activity is preaching. Right. If you are not preaching, then you can't experience that rasa. Recently, I shared one quote, right? It comes here only somewhere. So how it is they are telling that how if you're not preaching, then you are missing the higher taste of preaching Krishna consciousness. So that's one should preach. Hmm. Yeah, in Garud Puran it is stated. One cannot be liberated without association with a pure devotee. Unless one shows mercy, see, unless one shows mercy to those in inferior position, one's life will be superficial. Right? Visheshatah sa uttameshu vinasangam namuchate. By without association with seniors, uttameshu, swa uttameshu. Senior doesn't mean in the terms of age, but spiritual advancement. So uttameshu vinasangam na muchyate. We can't get liberated. Swanicheshu tu deveshu vinasangam na puryate. And if you don't show compassion on people who are not Krishna conscious, your life is na puryate, it's incomplete or superficial, he says. So it is a practical experience in Krishna conscious movement that those who are expanding their mercy by preaching the message of Krishna are making rapid spiritual progress. And the life is filled with transcendental bliss. You see book distributors, blissful. इतना मेहनत करते हैं, happy रहते हैं. Those who neglect the quality of mercy, being uninterested in the missionary activities of Krishna conscious movement, are not filled with transcendental pleasure, as described here by the word puryate. Not being filled with spiritual pleasure, surely such persons attempt to fill their lives with material pleasure through sense gratification and mental speculation, associated with women, or reading innumerable mundane novels, newspaper, magazines, and so on. और किसी को higher taste, if somebody is not preaching, then he is not experiencing higher rasa, then his mind will go down to lower rasa. Okay, let me see what's happening in the news. Let me go to library and open the magazine. Let me go read some mundane novel. ऐसे आ जाता है desire, because when somebody is busy in preaching, then he'll be happy. According to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the preaching activities of Krishna conscious movement are Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, the ever increasing ocean of bliss. Missionary activities are based on the principle of Dayam, or mercy to those who are fallen. Those who are actually preaching should become enlivened by associating with other preachers. We discuss other preachers. Prabhu, I went to one boy and he was so happy. He's already having Bhagavad Gita in his room. And another person said, Asha, I went to another boy. He said, I don't believe in God. I will not attend the session. But somehow I tried to give him some points and he got convinced and he's attending session. So people will share their own experiences. Right? This principle is called Maitri. Right? And Daya for people who are not Krishna conscious, Maitri with devotees who are preaching. And then Prashrayam for devotees who are senior, we serve them. Right? And this is Dayam, Maitri, Prashrayam. So one should show these three things. So then one can be complete. So that's why one should preach. And it's called Bhavananda. Happiness of preaching is called Bhavananda. The only happiness in material world is Bhavananda. Bhavananda doesn't mean sense gratification. Bhavananda means spiritual happiness in material world is preaching. Okay. So wish you all the best for your preaching. Any questions anybody has? It will be 7:30. I pause here. Online, offline. So gopis are glorifying the preachers as Bhurida janah, the great magnanimous souls who are spreading the amrita of Krishna Katha, by hearing which the tapta jivanam, the sufferings in the heart, are mitigated, and kalmashapaham, the anarthas, are also destroyed, and bestows ultimate benediction, which is Krishna Prema. So that is the meaning of the 9th verse of Gopi Gita.